As a deadly zombie virus turns humans into zombies, a brother's love is tested by bloodshed and fire. This movie opens up when Mok's older brother, Mek, was thrilled to learn that his girlfriend, Pan, was pregnant. Determined to provide for his future family, he proposed with a treasured family heirloom, a simple ring. But before they could celebrate, a fisherman arrived in a panic, reporting a shocking discovery. The nearby bay was teeming with Japanese troops. Japan had been negotiating with Thai leaders, aiming to use Thailand as a strategic base to expand further into India and China. Though the Thai government agreed to pay reparations and provide resources, tensions ran high. Japan's 10th Battalion, secretly researching biological weapons, intended to use this as leverage against Thailand's military leaders. As the situation escalated, all coastal units were placed on high alert. The Youth Corps, including Mok, were called to duty. Mok's mother, Mrs. Thanen, desperately tried to prevent him from leaving, even blocking the door. Fearful and hesitant, Mok planned to sneak away in civilian clothes and hide at a friend's house. But before he could escape, Mek confronted him. Furious, Mek berated Mok for his cowardice, reminding him of their duty to protect their family, their country, and Pan's unborn child. Mok, however, didn't want to become a nameless soldier like their father, who had died in obscurity. His fear of dying on the battlefield clouded his judgment. As they argued, the Japanese army launched a full-scale assault, starting with provinces like Son La, Nakhon Nayok, Prachuap Khiri Khan, and Chumphon. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Mok reluctantly joined the Youth Corps. But as the young recruits faced the enemy, terror overtook them, and they fled the coast in disarray. Amid the chaos, a container holding the zombie virus washed ashore. As it broke open, a horrifying zombie emerged, attacking Mok's group. The carnage was swift. Mok could only watch as his comrades fell. Trapped in a swamp and sinking deeper with every struggle, Mok thought all was lost until someone pulled him free. But to his horror, his rescuer was no longer human. It was one of his infected comrades. Mok narrowly escaped, though he was left utterly drained. By then, the virus had spread uncontrollably, consuming the forest and even wiping out a Japanese patrol team. Yet the Thai government reassured its citizens that negotiations with Japan were proceeding smoothly, urging cooperation with Japanese forces. Meanwhile, Mek led a search party in the forest. During the mission, he stumbled upon a zombie trapped in a pit. Initially mistaking it for a soldier, he jumped in to help, only to realize its true nature. Using a stick, he killed the zombie by piercing its head. As he climbed out, the zombie grabbed his leg, but Mek fought back, setting it ablaze with a burning stick. This discovery, that zombies were vulnerable to fire, was a critical revelation. Elsewhere, Mok woke up among a pile of corpses. Strange changes were taking over his body, and he soon realized he had turned into a zombie. As the memories of the attack returned, he struggled to accept his horrifying new reality. The virus had turned him into a creature belonging to the second type of infected zombies, those who retained partial self-control and memories but were still dangerous. The Japanese military laboratory revealed the two main types of zombies. The first type was highly aggressive, displaying immense strength and cannibalistic behavior. The second type, while faster and stronger, exhibited some human traits and didn't attack others of its kind. Scientists were unsure how long this self-control would last. While wandering the forest, Mok found his brother's pocket watch, which held a photo of their parents. Overcome with grief, he broke down, screaming in anguish over what he had become. In his despair, he attempted to end his life, but discovered his infected body secreted a flammable substance, causing him to ignite. Before the flames consumed him, another zombie shoved him into the mud, extinguishing the fire. Mech, searching for Mach, arrived at a makeshift medical facility. He clung to the hope that his brother had fled the battlefield, but a wounded soldier confirmed seeing Mach during the attack. Overwhelmed, Mech couldn't gather more details as he was summoned to a meeting with the Japanese army. Faced with the outbreak, Japan admitted that the virus had originated from their biological experiments. Captain Nakamura, leading the monitoring team, requested Thai soldiers' assistance in capturing the infected creatures alive to prevent further spread. Mach, now wandering aimlessly, stumbled upon a chilling scene. A leader-like zombie tossing fresh prey to its subordinates. Unlike others, these zombies didn't dare touch the food until their leader left. This commanding zombie, called Ashen, carried a photograph of his lover, Yanga. Mach, moved by Ashen's sorrowful gaze, felt a connection to him and silently followed. Ashen led Mach to a breathtaking cliff, gazing longingly at the horizon as if searching for his lost love. As Yanga's image faded from his mind, Ashen let out a haunting scream and turned into dust. From where he stood, a small white flower bloomed. Mach, witnessing this bittersweet moment, was left stunned by the unexpected turn of events. Meanwhile, Captain Nakamura's team captured a zombie named Ai during a daring operation. Scientists began testing Ai's reactions, even bringing his father into the lab. When Ai saw his father, he displayed violent emotions. The researchers cruelly escalated the experiment by killing Ai's father to observe his response. Mech, horrified by the inhumanity, attempted to intervene but was restrained. He argued passionately that zombies, especially those retaining memories, were victims, not monsters. But Nakamura warned Mech that his defiance would lead to severe consequences. Just then, Mech is forced to abandon his mission, leaving behind uncertainty and danger. Meanwhile, the Japanese army unleashes a massive cloud of a mysterious gas. This gas erases the last traces of humanity in Ai, turning him into a ruthless zombie. Ai attacks his father, killing him in a horrific frenzy and feasting on his flesh. At the same time, the youth zombie group learns that Ai and another zombie, Iron, have vanished. A cunning zombie named Changa informs the group that Ai and Iron returned to their homes. However, his claim is only half true. Changa and some others had already eaten Iron earlier while scavenging for food. Changa volunteers to look for Ai in the village, promising to bring him back if found. If not, Changa says they'll part ways forever. What no one anticipates is that Captain Nakamura of the Japanese army has already sent a monitoring team to encircle the village where Ai is hiding. Unaware of the looming threat, Changa and the zombies enter the village and start a massacre, killing without hesitation. Among them is Sak, a young soldier who mindlessly indulges in the bloodbath. Suddenly, he spots his wife and daughter watching him from afar. Horrified, Sak tries to explain himself. Mrs. Tan is praying in front of her husband's memorial tablet. She begs for her late husband's spirit to protect her son, Mech. To everyone's surprise, Mech returns home. Mrs. Tan immediately asks him for news about her other son, Mach. Holding back his pain, Mech lies and tells her that Mach survived the Japanese attack and is hiding. Unknown to Mrs. Tan, Mach is lurking nearby in his zombie form. Yearning to reunite with his family but too ashamed to reveal his monstrous appearance, Mach silently watches from the shadows. Suddenly, Pan, Mech's fiancée, bursts into the house, pale and trembling. She reports that she saw a half-eaten corpse on her way home. Realizing zombies are nearby, Mech springs into action. He hands a gun to his mother, instructing her to shoot anything unusual and to rely on fire if needed. Meanwhile, Nakamura's monitoring team edges closer to the village. In the forest, Sak chases after his wife, Will, pleading for her forgiveness. However, Will, having witnessed him eating a human, decides to flee to protect their daughter, Lily. While running, Lily falls, and Sak cautiously approaches her. Despite her fear, Lily hesitantly trusts her father, who doesn't harm her, but her cries attract the monitoring team. They fire crossbows, killing both Will and Lily on the spot. Sak screams in anguish over their deaths, his wail stirring the nearby zombies into a frenzy. The zombies attack the monitoring team, who retaliate fiercely. Amid the chaos, Captain Nakamura and 2 Thai soldiers, Juni and another unnamed captain, are forced to intervene. Seeing their former zombie comrades slaughtered by the Japanese, the Thai soldiers try to stop the violence. However, their efforts fail, and both are killed after urging their comrades to escape. Witnessing this tragedy, Mok rushes to the fallen Thai captain, weeping uncontrollably. Mek, leading a rescue group, arrives at the scene and is horrified to find zombies devouring Japanese soldiers. In the chaos, he spots Mok crying over the captain's body. Overwhelmed, Mek hesitates, then raises his gun to shoot Mok, believing it's better to end his brother's suffering. Mok, now cornered on the edge of a cliff, looks at his brother with disbelief and pain. Before Mek can fire again, a shadow emerges and pushes both brothers into the abyss. When Mek regains consciousness, he discovers he has been infected by Mok. Sharing the same cursed fate, the brothers realize their lives have taken a dark, irreversible turn. Elsewhere, Four Eyes, a scientist at the Japanese base, grows alarmed. He realizes Nakamura's reckless actions are making the zombies even more aggressive, escalating the war. Four Eyes reveals that he had embedded self-destruct mechanisms in the zombies. When they reach a certain evolutionary stage, they'll explode into ashes, triggering a natural regeneration process. This was his secret plan to control the outbreak. However, he warns that until the zombies reach that stage, countless people could be infected or killed. The next day, the Japanese army rounds up the villagers, including Mrs. Tan and Pan, and takes them to a temporary base. Nakamura shows them photographs of corpses found in the forest, demanding identification. Among the photos is Mok's image, which leaves Mrs. Tan devastated. However, Nakamura's claim that Mok is dead is a lie, designed to lure the villagers into the forest and eliminate them to cover up the zombie outbreak. Meanwhile, Mek and Mok discover a cave where young zombies are hiding. Mok finds Iron's half-eaten corpse, sparking tension among the group. Ai suddenly arrives and announces that the villagers have been captured by the Japanese, who plan to kill them all. Mok suspects it's a trap, believing Nakamura released Ai to relay this message. Despite the warning, Mek, furious over his loved one's capture, declares, "Even if it's a trap, we have to go," leading the zombies into the forest. As the villagers are led to the woods to identify the corpses, Mek and the zombie group arrive. Nakamura, prepared for an ambush, orders his troops to kill both villagers and zombies. Mrs. Tan and Pan are among those who perish. Enraged and grief-stricken, Mek commands the zombies to transform and fight back. However, Nakamura traps them, proving Mok's suspicions correct. In his anguish, Mek blames Mok for not saving their mother in time. The zombies eventually break free, and a bloody battle ensues. Facing defeat, Nakamura detonates a bomb and escapes. Even his son falls victim to the chaos, bitten by zombies. Devastated by the loss of his family, Mek vows revenge, determined to build an undead army to destroy the Japanese forces. Mok, disturbed by his brother's extremism, watches as the situation spirals further into madness. Back in Japan, a desperate Nakamura kills Four Eyes and learns the zombie's weakness: fire. He arms his soldiers with flamethrowers and leads them to the zombies' hiding place. However, the zombies, led by Mech, set a deadly trap, ambushing the soldiers in the narrow cave. Despite heavy losses, Nakamura hesitates to burn the entire cave, fearing the consequences. As his forces dwindle, he tries to escape, but is caught and turned into a zombie. Mach, now at an advanced evolutionary stage, begins to self-immolate, his body secreting a substance that could turn him to ashes. Suppressing this instinct, Mach realizes he must end the cycle of violence. At the cave's entrance, he faces Mech and the remaining zombies. Mach, holding a flamethrower, makes a heartbreaking decision to destroy them all. Mech, regaining a shred of humanity, signals his brother to act quickly. In a final act of redemption, Mech charges into the flames, taking the other zombies with him. Mach, overwhelmed by grief, throws himself into the fire, ending the nightmare once and for all. If you like this movie, then don't forget to subscribe the channel.